Welcome to the Career Matters podcast. I am your host, Nisar Ahmed. I'm the founder and editor of the blog careermatters.com, and this is episode 13 of the Career Matters podcast, and this episode is part of the Expert Series. And for today's Expert Series episode, I'm interviewing Peter Duris from KickResumecom.
Hi.
Peter, how are you?
I'm great. Thanks for asking. How are you, Nisar?
I am doing very well, thank you. Peter, did I say your name correct? Is it Duris?
Yes, completely okay.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah, welcome to the podcast. Peter, I think your team has worked with Career Matters. I think your team has been has contributed some posts and articles for the blog. But as I was learning more about your website and what you do, I thought it'll be good to have you as a guest and learn more about what you do and what KickResumecom does.
Yeah, actually, firstly, I want to thank you for invitation to your podcast. I'm really glad to work with you for blogging and for articles and so on. So, basically, I'm founder and CEO of KickResume, which is a platform that helps people create career documents. And not only career documents, but also, for example, personal websites, and we get other exhausting, awesome packages of features like a professional editors, agile support, and pre-written phrases, like 50,000 of them. So, and we are building many other features. So basically, KickResume is a platform which helps people create career documents, and which helps them to stand out on the job market and find a job really faster.
And that's great, and that's one of the reasons I was excited to have this interview, Peter, because it's always a lot of work. It's making a resume is not easy. It could be frustrating, and if you have some type of technology that makes it easy for you, and this is something I'm sure a lot of people can find value.
Yeah, actually, KickResume was built on the idea to help people create a resume as fast as possible and really easy. So how we started, we needed a resume. So we built one tool for us, and we decided to publish it for all of our friends and schoolmates. So and we set up the step-by-step of resume creation. Depends on how our friends were using it. So we were just testing many hundreds of times, and the result of it is really perfect user interface, really native, really intuitive process of resume or cover letter building, and so yeah. We just build an awesome tool for resume creation, and you can create it like within few minutes. And we help you with all the content, all the phrases, grammar correction, and so on.
Oh, that's great. So I do want to learn more about the company and how it helps candidates and job seekers. But can you tell me? Can you tell us which city or you're calling from?
Yeah, I'm from Slovakia, and basically I'm now in Bratislava, which is the capital of Slovakia. It's in a heart of Central Europe. So yeah, and we are also based here, but our users are from around the world. So our headquarters is here in Bratislava, in Slovakia.
Interesting. One thing I always ask my guests is tell the audience one interesting thing about your city or your country. So if you can tell, most people listening to this may or may not know Bratislava. So what is one thing about Bratislava, one interesting fact that you can share with us?
Well, I can share something about basically in general about Slovakia, because we are a very small country. So not only about Bratislava, but Slovakia is really a beautiful country from the nature perspective. We got many landscapes, many mountains, and like high Tatras, and there is a beautiful scenery of nature and animals just running around you, and it's really beautiful, and it's clear and so on. I like it here like it is, because this is really small, and here is just 5 million people in whole country, 6 actually. So you just go behind your house and you are actually in forest. So I love this.
Oh, that sounds amazing. It's like perfect. You live in an urban area and you're close to nature. So one of the things we spoke at the beginning, Peter, was the challenges, right? So you have seen a lot of resumes. Your company has seen a lot of resumes. So when people are making resumes, what are some of the things what are some of the mistakes people make?
Well, most of the job seekers seek a job and hope if somebody reply, I can say, rather than selling themselves and making like resume like their branding or like their brand and market it. Rather than selling themselves and getting best opportunity on the market, they are just either lucky or, well, they stay unemployed. So the biggest mistakes what they do is they are trying to write something which is really mainstream. Like generally they are not using active verbs. They are using some verbs which are really mainstream. Like I'm very progressive, hardworking person. This is something what recruiters don't like to see, because everybody used to write the same thing to the resume. What is the best if you write in a resume is make it short. This is the second problem. Like people used to write long resumes, and it also depends in countries. For example, United States or Canada or Britain or so on. If you write resume which is 2 letters long or 3 pages long, nobody gonna read the second or the third page. Just the first.
Mm-hmm.
And but if you are in for example in Egypt or maybe also in India, longer resume better. So it really depends in which country you are, but generally the short resume is the better. And the third biggest mistake, and I think is the biggest one, is grammar mistakes. Like many people, and then this is something what we were interviewing with many recruiters and headhunters, and this was a thing what was the most common from all of them, that if they find some grammar error in a resume, they just throw it to the trash. So this is like the biggest point. Just if you are building your resume, make sure your resume is grammatically correct. So yeah. And therefore, also we started with HR support and professional grammar editors. We got these editors all around the world. So our users can just, when they finish their resume, they just make it one click, and in 24 hours, our professional proofreader, which is native speaker, will edit the resume and send it back to the account.
Yeah, thanks for summarizing the 3 big mistakes, right? What I always do is once the interview is over, before I post it, I write a short summary, and I'll make sure to add them along with a blog post.
Okay.
But one thing very interesting, Peter, I did not know this, to be honest. I know because I'm in Canada that shorter resumes are good. I did not know that in Egypt and India, longer resumes are good. So that's an interesting tidbit of information.
Yeah, that's very very interesting. That was also very interesting for me. Like sometimes when I've seen like 7-page long resume, I was really like, what? Like if somebody ever will read this, but I found out that for example in Egypt or in India they're just normal with this, and they're trying to write everything what they done, and everything, every curses, everything, even something which is not common with the work with the job. So yeah, that's very. This is something what very depends. Like everything, like also details in a resume. For example, names and surname and gender, or even your status if you are married or not. This is something very depends of the country in the countries. For example, in Finland, you can include in your resume your name or surname. You can just include your email, because they wanna make it same for all, equal for all, even for girls, boys, men's, women's, black and white, all of them just equal. So they can't read a resume even with a name. So, and I'm not talking about picture or gender or whatever. So this is also very interesting.
Yeah, it's very fascinating listening to all this, right? Because it's I'm sure people who listen to this interview as well will say the same thing. Like the thing is, what happens? You're totally. One thing is with the internet, the world has changed, right?
Yeah.
It's no. If you go back many years ago, someone works in one small town, they apply for jobs in that town. Now with the internet, people are moving not only across different cities but across different countries. So having this knowledge, having this perspective is very useful.
Can I ask you for one more time for a question?
No, I was just making a comment
Okay.
saying it's good to know this. Like, let's say for example, someone listening to this is from USA,
Yeah.
and they are going to Finland, and it's good to know all these things. So, is it how can someone know this? Do you have like a resource on your website, Peter? For example, let's say I move to Finland. Um, does KickResume help me understand the local market?
Yeah, actually, we created one article in our blog where you can find out some of this information. Depends on countries. What are the requirements of resume? What you can, what you must include in your resume. You can find it on blog.kickresume.com. But what we are also planning, and this maybe is a little bit of secret, but now not. We're gonna create a subpage of KickResume called Maps, and there will be some information. Depends on countries, like so you will just click on this and that country, and you will know all of this kind of information. So this is something also what's coming.
Very interesting. So another question, Peter, is you told a lot about resumes. Thanks for that. You also mentioned that it's important to have a personal branding website. So resume is resume. One thing I hear a lot is in the importance of having your own blog, your own personal branding website. So is that true? I mean, how important is having a resume for sure, plus having your own website?
Well, this time is very interesting. Like you have to think about it like about your brand, like about your product. If you're a company and you got, for example, product, for example, honey, or for example, whatever, you have to create some brand. You have to sell it across your social networks. You have to market it. You have to create some awesome marketing, growth hacking, and so on. And this is something what you should do also on your personality, yourself. If you want to sell yourself the best, as you know, you need to create your personal branding. And if you want to achieve or get the best opportunity, job opportunity, and your dream job, You need to sell yourself as good as you know. So the best as you know. So basically, we started with resume, but later on we've seen some trends from people that they were building personal websites, and immediately on the second day they got a job in Airbnb or in Facebook or so on. So, and we were thinking like, okay, these are people who know how to code or programming or make a design, and they know how to create the personal website, and obviously, yeah, there is a lot of tools for this. But the biggest pain what you got in creation your website is is actually to create it. And once we got the data you fill into your resume, you don't need to create it. You just need to tap one button, and you are done. You got your personal website. So the biggest pain, what is everywhere on each website for creating personal website or whatever website, is to actually create it, to fill the data, and to set up the icons and colors and everything. What we do, we are just helping you to create it and save your time by letting you create personal website out of your resume. So this is something which is really important. But straight to your question, like if it's needed in the market, I think yes. Like 80% of recruiters and headhunters are likely to look at your social networks, your LinkedIn, Facebook, or Twitter or whatever, and like they will look at it. If they will hire you, they will look at it definitely. But so why to not make it easier for them? Why to not stand out even more when you give them a link on your personal website where you can actually backlink to your social networks or just show your resume, and you win. You actually win across the other applicants. What I can say next is that when you got a website and you are applying to the smaller companies, not like big companies, for example, to the IBM or Oracle. These companies usually have robots that filtering ATS robots that filtering resumes and so on, because they get obviously like 500 or 1,000 applicants on one job offer. That's normal. So you just send resume and you are invited for interview. So they don't see your personal website. But what about the small medium enterprises? They don't have these robots. They don't have these engines for filtering resume, and they also getting 50 or 100 resumes for one job offer. So when you just send them PDF, for example, like imagine this process. You get you receive the email with the applicant. You have to download PDF. You have to open PDF. You have to review PDF, and after you can just send back your decision. If you send your email, which is actually suited for you, and you can actually also create it on KickResume, and you include your PDF resume, but you also include in the text the link on your website. This recruiter just click on the website and he see whole your resume. So it's even easier for them. It's saving their time, and it's easier for you, and it's win-win situation like for everybody. And it's raising your chance like about 60% from the research. So yeah, definitely there is something in it. What is doing these people more successful in job hunting.
No, that's very interesting, right? Because when you're sending someone a resume, you're very what I call reactive. You're just applying for a job. But if you have your own website, sometimes it shows that you're serious about your career. I like your analogy of a company, where a company needs to promote itself. I think you also need to promote yourself. So
yeah,
thanks for clarifying that, the importance of having a personal website. The next question I want to ask, Peter, resumes are important, websites are important. LinkedIn, of course. What are you? I mean, someone like you who is an expert in the industry. What about LinkedIn? Is that still important, or how important is LinkedIn?
Yeah, definitely. LinkedIn is important. There is many recruiters that are hiring on LinkedIn and can find you. What I could say, if you are looking for a job, I would say is like a 50-50. The needness of creation resume and LinkedIn. Like you need to create both. There is no such things like you just create a resume or you just create a LinkedIn and you get a job. Even if recruiter find you on LinkedIn, they ask you to send the resume. It used to be like this, so definitely you need to create both. And what is a little bit better on LinkedIn that many people are saying that your enhancement or LinkedIn are just faked, and so therefore recruiters also are looking for something which is created by these people, which is a resume or personal website, so they can see more of your personality, how you choose, for example, colors, how you choose design, what you write into your resume, what is not included in LinkedIn. And also LinkedIn is public, so you're not gonna write on LinkedIn the same things as you write in a resume. And the last thing is resume you're writing every time, or you should write your resume every time focused on the position you are applying. So if you are going for marketing, you should write some of your achievements from previous marketing jobs or so on. And if you are also graphic designer or you are a programmer, you don't have to include these marketing things. You should focus on programming in your resume. So LinkedIn is very general and public, and resume is or should be focused, and it's actually private. So you can share it with companies and create a couple of resumes for each company or positions you're applying.
Yeah, thanks for clarifying that, Peter. Now I want to spend more time on KickResume.com. So if someone listening to this, they're interested to create their own resume, can you explain on a high level, walk us through what they can expect? So you gave a very brief understanding at the beginning. Maybe you can give us some details as a candidate. What is the value? What is involved, etc., etc.
Well, yeah. In 2015, like last year, we've changed the whole process of KickResume, and we've built one of the most powerful career builders out there, and one of top 5 career and resume builders from user base and user interface perspective, and is the reason also why we are changing the way you and you seeking a job. And the process is that you just start template, a bunch of templates. Currently, I think around 50, but we are on that. So we hope by the end of this year we're gonna have around 50 templates, and you just select one of templates you like. In the second step, you fill in your information, or you can import them. So you just click import your PDF, your existing Word, PDF, or whatever you got, and this text is imported and divided to each section. So we parse this information, and so you can add any new section, for example, hobbies. So you can show more of your personality. You can change icons. You can add, for example, graphs. So you can show in graphs your skills or so on. So your resume is becoming more visual, more graphic, or you can still keep it very for example, for banking. So also you can select on your positions. On your position, you can select the template. So we divided these templates on depends on categories you're working. And in the third step, you can customize your resume. And here you very easily you can just change your fonts, colors, or so on, or line heights, or format of resume, and this is the end. You just download your resume or let it proofread by HR professionals, and you get it back. And if you don't know what to write in your resume, you just click help, or you just click phrases next to each text section, and you can import each phrase. So you, for example, search phrases for a developer, and you see hundreds of phrases which was used previous users and filtered only the best ones, and use in your resume. So it makes, again, made very easy and very fast, because we found out that many users always, when they're creating resume, they re-click to another tab, to another browser tab, and search. So we actually choose these samples, take these samples, and take these phrases from samples, and you can add this specific phrase to your resume and create and just rewrite it as you like. So it makes this process of resume creation very fast and very easy. So, and once you get finished your resume, you can create your cover letter in the same design. You can create your personal website in very similar design, and with just one click, just create a personal website. You just write your specific URL, for example, nisar.kickresume.com, and you're done. You got your personal site. And
so wow, technology takes care of everything for you. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah. Well, I can also say something about the results and from our research where we made with our thousands of users, and is that in average people are seeking 90 days from the beginning when they need to find a job. Today, when they are starting at the job, is around 90 days, and is a long time, and obviously is also a big pain for companies. Because somebody 3 months to wait 3 months is really long time, and also people who don't have money because they are unemployed and they are looking for a job. 3 months without money is a long time. And what KickResume does is that we decrease this time on 25 days in average, which is a huge improvement and huge achievement for us, and we are very lucky we are very happy to say that we decrease this time on 25 days, and we always are very happy when we receive some good, awesome feedbacks from our users when they get a job and so on.
No, thanks for adding that, because it's good to know what the benefits are, right? If you can reduce the if someone can get job in less than 30 days, that's amazing. So,
this was really, really, really amazing accomplishment when we found out that this is under 30 days.
Well, Peter, thanks for answering all the questions, right? And telling us how KickResume works, telling us the importance of LinkedIn, having a website, the resume mistakes. As I mentioned before, what I will do is I'll summarize everything, put it in a blog post when I post this episode. So before we close, do you have any last words, Peter? Anything that you wanted to add?
Well, thank you very much for having me here, and I hope that by this we will see also more or bigger traction from Canada, because I obviously I've seen that your blog is very popular in Canada, and also your podcast, I guess. So, and I hope we will come to Canada with a KickResume, and people will like it, and definitely we will be glad to having any feedback from people to improve or let's say set up page exactly for Canada. And yeah, thank you very much. And yeah, you got a great prime minister. I love him. he's awesome. I just following him on Twitter, and he's a crazy guy. He's awesome.
I think he's very popular worldwide, not only in Canada. So yeah, that's great to hear.
Yeah.
Thanks, Peter, and thanks for calling us all the way from Slovakia. So thanks, folks, for listening to this episode of the Career Menace podcast. I have written a brief summary of the interview with links to Peter's website, KickResumecom. If you liked what you heard, feel free to subscribe to the Career Menace podcast on iTunes. And for more content, ideas, tips, resources, go to careermenace.com. If you enjoyed this episode and if you learned something new, feel free to post a comment and a review. And if you really loved it, definitely go ahead and share this with your network. Until next time, this is Nisar Ahmed, your host for the Career Menace podcast. Thank you.